This video was filmed before I had my allergic reaction, so if I seem really happy and energetic, it is because I wasn't sick.
Hey houseplant friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you what's inside my houseplant terrarium. Before we get started with this video, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe. Maybe you've been binge watching my videos and you just forgot to hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the community. And I do have a Patreon I wanted to let you know about. The Patreon is amazing. That is where my entire community is. Costs $1 to join the Discord full of the entire community of 120 amazing patrons. And then there are other benefits that go up from there in case, you know, you can choose a benefit that fits where you want to be. Yeah, cool. Check that stuff out. Okay, back to the video. Bye! So to start, we're gonna take the stuff off the top of my terrarium. And oh my god, this pink princess. Oh my god. Paradiso Verde. This was gifted to me by Leadhead Glass. They sent it to me purely as a sponsor. It was also, this is the one that Botanicaz created. Anya is one of my very close houseplant friends. She runs an amazing web shop called Botanicaz. You can check out her on Instagram too, also under the name Botanicaz. This is her and Leadhead's love child. They created this gorgeous terrarium made out of refound glass, and I could not afford a terrarium on my own, and I did not ask them for this. They just sent it to me and asked if I wanted it, and I said yes, of course, because I would never ever ever be able to have something like this on my own. So I guess let's just jump into it. So let's start off with my favorite child. This is Anthurium waraquiana, dark, long, narrow form. It's a queen. Waraquiana queen is what everyone calls it. And this is its brand new leaf. I got this, and you guys are gonna scream at me. I got this plant for $40. It was a rehab. It was dying. Literally, this was just yellow. And he was like, I think it's gonna die, so I'm just trying to find someone to just take it. And I was like, well, I'd love to take it, because I had just sold mine, because I brought it up a lot, and I'm gonna stop, honestly, but when we moved, I had to sell a lot of my plants. I sold it to one of my patrons, and I still wanted one, so yeah, I got this one for $40 3 months ago. So in today's climate where these are selling for $500. So the fact that I got to own another one of these, it's just incredible. I need to clean out the bottom of this tray because there's so much dead plant material in here. The next plant I have in here that I'm just absolutely head over heels in love and obsessed with is this Anthurium cuticulaceae that I rescued. It is just an absolutely incredible houseplant, and I love it so much. This one, these are two different plants. I have two. They're both in the same pot because the soil mix is really good. This one I bought from that plant friend, LLC, which is the Jungle Bums on Instagram, and she bought it from someone who bought it from someone who bought it from someone who poached it. And when she found out that it was actually poached, she reached out to me to ask me if I ever didn't want it someday, I would just send it back to her, because knowing its lineage, it's not kosher to sell. You know what I mean? And this was actually on my wish list last year, but I didn't know it was an endangered species. I just saw it at the Amazon spheres, and that looks really cool. I want one. And then this one I actually rescued from someone who bought it poached through a friend. His name is California Plant Dad on Instagram, and he's amazing. And he saw that someone was selling it. They said that they were giving it the boot because it wasn't putting out roots for them, and they'd only had it for a month. So these are my Anthurium cuticulaceae. If you're going to buy these, please ask the seller where they get them from, and if they grow them themselves or if they collect from the wild. Don't say poach, say do you collect from the wild, because it is very important, especially this plant is one that is poached just all the time. So it's really good to know your plant's lineage and make sure that, you're not buying plants that, you're not importing plants that are poached. That's gross. The next houseplant that we're gonna talk about in here, so this one you guys saw me actually get months and months ago. This plant was a plant that was sold to me, not sold, I guess it was a gift. It was gifted to me by Ill Exotics, and they knew that I was wanting an Alocasia silver dragon super duper bad, and they actually had some bulbs. So they sent me this one huge Alocasia silver dragon bulb, or I guess 2 or 3, and then I dropped it on the ground. Maybe I'll insert that here. It was so funny. has since turned into a bunch of different plants. We have this one, and then there's a couple more that are like kind of peeking out at the bottom. But this plant is just so gorgeous. And these are obviously baby leaves, but this plant, this was like the first Alocasia that I ever fell in love with. So to be able to like grow one from its like babyhood, like it's a child, like it's a bulb, is really cool. Now let's talk about my princesses. So this is my pink princess. This is the first pink princess I actually ever had. And its leaves are just absolutely ridiculous. They are so good. This plant gives me such good variegation. It is just, it's so wonderful. And the stem itself is just so pink. It is just absolutely, I'm in love with it. It's incredible. And I got this from, I believe, Houseplant Journal, I think. I did have two others, and then I ended up trading those off for other plants, and I can't remember which ones those were, but I do know I still have them. I think one of them I traded off for a strand of my Mauna Loa, and the other one, oh, I can't even remember. This is like my baby. I will never do anything to this plant. This is like, and it's been growing in water just fine. Now, my white princess, on the other hand, I opened this up a couple days ago just to like check on everything, and I found thrips, and I didn't find thrips on any of my other plants except for this waraquiana, which was the newest addition, and this white princess. I checked everything else, nothing else was infected. They weren't climbing around on the soil or anything, and all of the leaves were like so damaged, so I just chopped it all off. But you will see that there is brand new growth happening, and it's really cute. So this plant also does have really good variegation. Usually it's pretty sectorally and chunky. I'm just excited to see what kind of baby we get coming out of there. And if you guys ever have problems with like your leaves and you don't want the leaf anymore, but it's the newest leaf, so like you can't cut it off because then you won't get another one, you can always cut off where the leaf meets the petiole, because if you keep the petiole, it still has all the reproductive genes to like make a new leaf. But if you cut it off at the petiole, then that's when you won't get another plant. So here's the other jewel orchid I have that I also got from Botanicaz. I feel like I'm not taking care of these the best, but I've never really had to take care of jewel orchids before, so I'm still kind of learning. But she just kind of sits right here and she looks cute. The next plant we're going to talk about is, I think just my begonias are left. Yeah, I think so. So this is Begonia melanobulata, and this was my first wish list begonia ever. It is just iconic. The way that it has such shiny green leaves with like the little black dots on top of it are just so gorgeous. And the new leaves come in this like red color, and it's just like, hello? And this one, actually a subscriber saw that it was on my wish list, and they were like, hey, I'd love to give that to you. The next houseplant that we're gonna talk about is this. I believe this is, and I always get the name confused, it's either Begonia rubida or Begonia rubra, and it is just gorgeous. I mean, this plant is just impeccable. This is one that Anya sent me as a graduation gift, and it was super duper nice of her. She also sent me this begonia, which we'll talk about in a second, as a graduation gift. And she sent me like huge begonias. Like, she sent them to me and they were like this tall. Not like this other stuff up here wasn't there, but like she sent me, they were already so well established. So there wasn't really like a lot for me to do except for just like not be a dick to them. But they're so iridescent. Like, they are just, they're just iconic, and I love it. Then we have, this is Begonia malachosticta, and I love this begonia because of its pink dots and its very silvery leaves and its pink stems. I think that everything about this begonia is iconic, and there's a really cool mix between the Begonia darthvidariana and the Begonia malachosticta that honestly is slept on. But honestly, begonias are like such a niche thing. Like, most people don't know about them, or the cool ones, like they like don't know about it. So Begonia malachosticta, and I freaking love it. It is a gem, it is gorgeous, and I love it. Oh, thank you, Botanicaz. This is basically just like an ad for Botanicaz. They'll be linked in the description, by the way. And then we have this gorgeous baby, which I never pick up because I'm terrified of her. But this is Begonia jehoiaei, and I've had a couple of these. I had one that I took care of for like 6 months, and then it just died out of nowhere. Like, I was doing so good taking care of it, and then it just literally like died. So yeah, here's the baby. I'm too scared to touch its leaves, but Anya also sent me this one. So I think I'm gonna experiment with propagating this leaf down here, because you can literally take any piece of begonia material and make a new plant out of it. It is incredible. The last plant plant in my terrarium is probably my very favorite begonia of all time. And this is Begonia jehoiaei. And I love this begonia. It is just, it's so incredibly silvery and just incredible. And even the undersides of the leaves are just so effervescent. It is just incredible. That's just, I just can't. This is a plant that I have that I can just like, just stare at. Like the bottom of it literally looks like shiny silver powder. It's so freaking gorgeous. And I did purchase this one. I purchased this one from Anya. Almost all of the begonias in here I did get from Anya, and the jewel orchids, both of them are from Anya too. But this is one that a subscriber sent me, and then, oh my gosh, we almost forgot one. Oopsies. But yeah, this is like the Anya terrarium. I did forget this one. This is Begonia curtisii Red Galaxy, and you're really not gonna be able to see a whole lot of it because it's growing completely in hydro. It's literally an underwater begonia, which doesn't make sense because begonias don't like water. It's doing really, really good in water. So I've just kind of kept it in here because, like, look at him. He's so cute. It's my little water guy, which is probably like a cardinal sin. But yeah, these are all of the plants that I have in my terrarium, and they've all done so much better since moving them into here. This is a plant specifically that like a lot of people have a really hard time growing, and I kept it in its own separate cloche, but since moving it around a bunch of other plants, it's just done better. I don't know if it's because it gets to socialize and mingle with the other houseplants or what, but it just has like taken off. Like this one, the leaf started to die for like no reason, which was terrifying, and then it put out a whole new growth point. And it made itself new, and same thing with this one. It died there and it put out a new growth point, so it's not that hard to take care of. You just have to make sure that you're not buying one that's like poached, please. But I love it. I used to have a humidometer in here, but it doesn't really work. It's always 99%. It's never lower. And I do have a tray full of perlite on the bottom here that helps to, so you get that wet, and then that's what like keeps it humid in there. And then I also have lined the bottom of this wooden tray with a tray of aluminum foil, and that's what I put the perlite on, and that's what I put the water on, and I made sure to like make edges, make it so that like none of the water could escape, because I know that the wood is like made to withstand that, but I don't know that it's made to like withstand like pouring water into it. So yeah, I lined the bottom just to like make sure that it stayed good. And then I keep it about 10 feet from my south-facing window. It gets incredible light. This is the brightest room in my whole house. All my plants love it in here. And these guys really do too. They've all kind of like turned toward the light. Like I moved this one, but they've all kind of been growing that way, so. But yeah, this was my terrarium video. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you were able to learn something. Maybe you'll go scoop a terrarium. If not from Leadhead, because I know it is expensive, even though it is so worth it because like, it works. Like go get yourself a terrarium. Keep your plants moist. Keep your plants like humidified. They really love humidity. And like this plant in particular is not a plant that you would want to grow without a cloche or a terrarium. Same thing with this plant. These begonias, except for the Jalao, you could get away with not keeping them in a super ridiculously humid environment. But like same thing with the silver dragon, it needs a ton of humidity. Like this pink princess I could take out, the white princess I could take out, the rubra slash thing, and then the malachristic I could probably take out. But everything else really does need to be in this like specified environment. Yeah, I hope that this helped, and I hope that you took something away from this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. Please support me on Patreon. It helps me out so much. You can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/PlantMeAshley. Costs $1 to join the Discord and $5 to join the end card, which you're about to see in just a second. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later, friend. Goodbye.